We're answering viewer questions today, and we've got a special guest. Hey there, Bob from Oregon's Constant Gardener. Welcome to the OCG Fam Show to you, my YouTube buddies. What's going on? Let me know in the comments. So Scott's on the show today. It's very exciting. Scott Ostrander from Nectar for the Gods is here. He's answering viewer questions. I was over there just a little bit ago. Let's just get right to that. Let's just go right into it. Watch this. I'll talk to you after. Is it record? You're ready, right? All right.
I think we're just in it. I mean, you never edit it anyway, so you just usually go, and go.
Hey there. We're here with Scott Ostrander. Big kahuna of Nectar for the Gods. We got some viewer questions.
All right.
Okay. Let's see here. So this may be a weird question. It doesn't seem that weird. It's from Paulo Tamez. Paulo Tamez? Yeah. It says, is there a mixture combination for post-transplanting? One recommendation that has helped me is just a tablespoon of Gaia and a teaspoon of Herculean harvest per gallon. So someone's transplanting. You know, the plant's a little root shock maybe or something.
Yeah.
What should they be doing?
I mean, that's my go-to.
Oh, really? Okay, so that's a good recommendation.
I think so.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that.
Okay. Let's just say it again. So Gaia and Herc.
Yeah, Gaia and Herc. Because basically you're promoting, you're putting in some phosphorus, both strong in Gaia and Herc.
Okay.
Phosphorus is great for root development, so it kind of helps that plant trigger new growth. And then also that extra calcium load that you're pumping in there is, kind of buffering the soil, getting it ready. The roots want to develop into that. You don't want to really soak them in the first time you do the transplant. Give them a good watering, but don't overwater the container. Okay. But those two, that's generally the best. I usually do that for 3 to 5 days.
So we're talking about flushing the soil beforehand?
Not even flushing, just... Well, if you have crappy soil, then maybe.
Then absolutely.
But then maybe just go buy new soil.
So you...
So you really have to
good soil.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about here is beforehand, before you doing this before or when after you put the plant into it?
Transplant and then water it in with a gentle load of Gaia and Herc.
Okay.
And then not much.
Right. Just give it easy breezy.
10-gallon pot, just water in that 6-inch you put into the 10-gallon. Don't water 10 gallons worth of soil because then it'll never dry out.
So not just not much of this, but not much water. You want to let it kind of just find its way instead of getting saturated with it.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this. Some people have said that they, when they first put it in, they feel like the roots are kind of shocked, and so they do a little foliar feeding to kind of give the plant some nutrition through the leaves. Always. Is that a reasonable thing?
Yeah, no. I mean, if you know you're going to be transplanting soon and you're in the vegetative cycle, ideally you should be foliar feeding, a week before, up to a week before, every day up until the time of transplant. And that, because what you're doing is you're putting all the nutrition into the foliage. The plant stores it all there and uses it as stored nutrition, and when you go into transplant, the plant can access all of that nutrition in the foliage, so they never really go through the whole stress cycle. Once the plant starts depleting that nutrition in the foliage, then the roots will start developing faster and get out and grow into the medium quicker.
Okay, so every day for like a week up until after, once I've transplanted it, should I still be doing it too?
Yeah, because that helps that whole transplant shock.
So I'm already foliar feeding, but I'd be doing more so. And what would you be doing? Like some kelpie kind of stuff or something?
Yeah, some Poseidon or kelp, or liquid seaweeds, humics and fulvics. Medusa would be a good one if you're in the vegetative cycle. If you're transplanting, going into the bloom cycle, a little bit of Gaia in there would be fine.
Complete nutrition, not just some specific nutrient of it. So your Medusa, your Gaia kind of...
Pretty much.
Just got everything.
Anything that isn't just totally calcium-based.
Okay. That's answered. We're knocking them down.
Yeah, so
let's do another one.
On that list.
All right. Okay. Couple of questions. We'll just do one at a time. Bob, well, it's probably Scott, yeah. In feed, tea, feed, flush scenario, could I alternate regimens? Like Spartan regimen one day, then sample kit regimen, flush, tea, etc.? Or would this cause an issue? I was considering switching to the Spartan regimen and only doing the test kit regimen as needed. So he's doing just the basics. He's thinking of it like, I'm doing the Spartan and then I'm going to Greek or I'm going to sample kit or something of that nature.
Gotcha. So basically he wants to run the 4-part and then every once in a while throw in Demeters and Athenas and something else.
Is that the way to do it or?
That's fine.
Okay.
I mean, really, ideally the 4 in Spartan is what you need to just maintain health and grow a good plant.
Okay.
And then everything outside of that, if you need more amino acids, throw in some Athenas. If you need more calcium or some kind of magnesium release, throw in some Demeters. So you can go back and forth, no problem. That's the whole point of the Roman regimen is you got all these products.
Okay.
You don't necessarily have to put them all in it every time. A lot of guys I know will do like the base, base or part of Greek and one feeding, and then do all the additives the next day on another feeding. So it really comes down to your style, your garden, how everything's appearing. You can definitely, within a week's time, give them all of the nutrients on your list in different stages. The ones I would make sure, I always keep Herculean in everything.
Okay, sure.
So no matter what, if I'm only doing the Spartan, I'll throw Herc in. If I'm doing the rest of what's in Greek, I'll throw in the Herc. And maybe leave Medusa and Gaia out, but I'll run Herc, Demeters, Athenas, Kraken.
Okay.
I just always make sure I have that.
So necessary to have the Herc there, but the other ones you might alternate those where you're doing one half of the Greek, and then you're doing your Demeters and your that sort of thing, and then the other day you're doing your Medusa and your Gaia.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting. So, but would you say generally that your Spartan and your Greek regimens are complete regimens? One's basic and one's a little bit more. But when you get into Roman, a lot of that stuff are additives that you may be modulating to do certain things.
Absolutely, and even some of the Greek. I mean, some of the Greek is just additives. I would consider. I consider Kraken an additive.
Sure.
I consider Aphrodite's an enhancement and additive. So those are two that I don't necessarily put in every time. In Bloom, I put Aphrodite's in all the way through. In the late veg, early bloom, I'll have Kraken. After that, I just put them away. So I use them as tools.
So maybe just the Spartan and then Athenas and Demeters?
What's that?
The Athenas and Demeters, you would say, are
the additives to the...
Would you say those are additives, or those are kind of an every time kind of thing?
No, if you're running Medusa and Gaia...
You're good to go.
Then, those are your every time things, or your Herculean should be your every time thing.
So anything beyond Spartan, to some extent, is an additive or a modulation of what's already there.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. We're moving on.
I mean, really, the sample is kind of the complete.
That's really the complete.
Yeah.
And when you
go
beyond
it's less than Greek and more than Spartan, but it's literally, that's why we give it out as the sample, is that this is what we'd recommend. These 6 products with the additive of chaos.
So anything beyond that is because you're genetic, maybe hungry for something, or because you're looking at a certain result you're looking for with flavor, aroma,
the longevity of your plants, their autoflower, their
mother
plants.
Okay,
they're ones that take 14 weeks to finish. Ones you like to veg for 4 months for whatever god awful reason you thought that was a good idea, but then realized it was horrible, so you stopped doing it the next time for an 8. Blah blah blah.
Okay, I get it. All right. I'm moving on. Okay, now this is a good one, and I'm just going to paraphrase it here. So, you would think that like 6.3, 6.4 pH would be the optimum, and why wouldn't you just use that for, because when you look at your pH scales of where, things are available, that's the optimum range. But when you look at the feeding charts, it's creeping up the pH as you go into the flowering stage of the plant. Why is that? Why does the pH move up?
It's making different elements available at different pH scales. And like the Richter scale, these things are exponentially larger and larger as you add a point.
Okay.
So when you go from 6.2 to 6.3, it's not just 0.1 that you've gained, it's 100 points.
Okay.
And, so 1 point is 10 times. So a full point is 100 times.
So you are moving it up quite a bit.
Yeah, 6.2 to 6.3 is that big. And so this calcium molecule, this nitrogen, they're all at a different parking spot of pH range. So if you just run 6.3 all the time or just 6.4 all the time, everything in that shroud of availability is available, but everything below, like some of the nitrogen proteins are going to be 6.1, some of the calcium molecules are going to be 6.6. So giving you this buffering or this range of 6.3 to 6.8, what we're telling you is that if you're in mid-flowering, you can pump it a little bit higher to get more of the calcium phosphate into the plant by going at this range. If you're going lower, you're going to get this other form of calcium from limestone in at this range.
Okay.
So having the variation of pH adjusting just allows your plants to kind of, if you will, hit the buffet and choose different things to eat on different moments.
Different calcium sources,
different everything. Different proteins,
everything.
Aminos, enzymes. Everything's kind of entering in and being carried in by different things.
It's not one thing and we're trying to optimize for that one little point. It's a range and there's different things at different points. It's far more complex than it would appear, and so you need to...
Yeah. And none of us are plants, none of us are microbes, and nothing... We really don't fully understand what's actually happening and what the plant absorbs and how. That's a bizarre part. So one of our farmers got ripped the other day, and so they just found a bunch of plants in the trailer park across the street, and they're duct taped together. So geniuses, rippers are smart. So what I always tell people, like when I'm at an event or something, I go to the Chinese buffet. You know, and if you kind of go right down the line of 6-0 is white rice, 6-1 is kung pao chicken, 6-2 is beef, 6-3 is fish, 6-4 is noodle. Well, if I'm only eating 6-3 all the time, all I'm ever going to get is the beef.
Sure.
Sometimes I want some white rice. Sometimes I want the fried rice. Sometimes I want the squid. They're all at a different range. So allowing your pH to do this, they're good.
Okay, so now is there a logic to it moving up into flour?
Well, because we're trying to harden the flour. We're trying to make it dense. We're trying to promote and create more oil in the fruit and the flowers and more terpenes. And so... being calcium driving all of these things in our line, we want that pH to go up so we can make more oil and make more, or more solid flowers.
So, but
larvae.
So we are moving up, but also this is something I'd never heard before or thought about is that you may not want to be so precise with your pH. You want to be in that range, but each time you don't want to like 6-3. Oh, put some Herc in to bring it back down. If it goes to 6-4, be perfect to that 6-3.
Oh, yeah, no.
Some variation to that is valuable, and so that just kind of taking a little less of a stringent attitude.
If we just wrote 6s on here, then we'd even be in more question land. So giving you that range, saying if you feed in mid-bloom anywhere from 6-3 to 6-8, you're feeding them. They're going to get something in this feeding schedule in that pH range. So if one day you're at 6-5, great. Don't drop it.
Don't fix it. Just.
But if you see something that's like, man, everything seems to be, I've got super purple stems. Everything's great. Parts mine are 300. pH in my soil is 6.5. But you're feeding every day at 6-8. Well, all of a sudden you're going to start losing some of the availability on phosphorus.
Sure, on the other
so now we got to bring it back down and get the phosphorus back in.
Okay.
But to get that calcium in there, we want to kind of go back and forth, 6-4 to 6-6, So I pretty much keep it anywhere from 6.2 to 6.6 and maintain. Some genetics like more or a higher pH. Some genetics prefer a lower. So it's just covering our butts to let you know that there's a million of these genetics out there, and they're not all the same. You and I don't eat the same.
Right.
That little girl downstairs at the counter does not eat the same.
Sure.
So 6.4 for all of us, we're all eating white rice.
But we're not eating rocks and sticks. We are eating within a range of food, and that's what this is. That 6 range in there, it's in that range, but you want to vary within that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And compared to other nutrient lines that are, salt-based, mineral-based, or soluble salts, they're driving everything in with NP and K. So nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium.
Right.
And all of those are going to be available in that 5.6 to 6.0
and that's
range.
why they're down there.
They always maintain that 5.7 to 6.0 range.
Sure.
So this is a challenge for people to wrap their minds around when they're used to 5.7 to 6.0 feed schedules, and now we're going from 6.1 to 6.8. That's mind-blowing. So it's all about the calcium and how we're getting it to be absorbed or to make it into the plant system.
Nice. That's answered. Right?
That one's done, I think.
There you go. That's all of them. That's the show.
That was it.
That was it. We did it.
That job's easy. I should fire your shit and hire a monkey.
You should get a monkey. That would be hilarious. Because I can go work at the Starbucks. I'll be okay. But a monkey, I would give up my job if I knew a monkey was going to do it.
What kind?
Those little tiny ones seem really sketchy to me, like they could cause crimes.
Those look like
Springfield And then once they get into the chimpy stage too much, they just seem like they're really dangerous. So I think maybe those little monkeys that's like about this big that seem really kind of guys seem friendly. That's the one I would pick. I don't know what that is, but that's the one I would pick.
You're going with the man in the yellow hat style. Curious George monkeys.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. See? That's a little bonus right there.
That's what we do. Monkeys.
Monkeys. That was awesome. Okay, that was fun. We sure appreciate Scott doing that. That was informative, I hope. So, more show tomorrow. Not sure exactly what we're doing. We'll probably get back into the comprehensive feeding regimen, but Scott was available. He's so seldom available. I thought it'd be a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. For more information about anything on today's show, go to our website, OCGFAM.com. And if you buy anything while you're there, use the code OCGFAMSHOW. It's going to save you 20%. And it's a lot of fun. The OCG Fam Show, it's pretty good. It happens every day. It's the OCG Fam Show. See you tomorrow.